Hello, and welcome to True Ending All Glitches. Now, True Ending All Glitches, unlike most Hollow Knight speedruns you may have seen, is a glitched category. It's not an MG, which means that it allows us to use a lot of the powerful game-breaking glitches that are in Hollow Knight. Not only is it a glitched category, but it's an all glitches category, which means that we're definitely going to be using main menu storage. For our purposes, the most important form of main menu storage is godhome main menu storage, which allows us to take a godhome file and load it into the main game. Now, this does quite a lot for us. It lets us start the game effectively with New Game Plus, a full loadout, full upgrades, all movement abilities, all charms, everything you could possibly want. But most importantly is it starts us with Void Heart. And because it starts us with Void Heart, we don't have to do any of the additional requirements that you normally have to do to get the true ending. All we have to do is kill the 3 Dreamers, fight Hollow Knight, and fight the Radiance. Now, because of the power of these glitches, the category only takes between, say, 10 to 20 minutes or so to run. And in my opinion, that makes it a very nice category because you can fit in runs when you don't have so much time, and resetting isn't such a big deal because you don't lose so much, invested time. On the other hand, it is a glitched category, which means that there's quite the potential for a soft lock. And that's just sort of the nature of these types of categories. Sort of the price you have to pay for being able to go through walls and go out of bounds is that sometimes you're going to soft lock yourself. Now, because of the nature of this category, because it focuses around godhome main menu storage, it has to be run on a patch that has godhome. So we run optimally on patch 1.5.75, which is one of the more recent patches that Team Cherry put out. Anything on patch 1.4 forward would work. The reason we use patch 1.5.75 is that it allows us to open inventory while in the state of noclip, which will play a role in a number of places in the run. And I'll explain what those states are as we go. This category also has to be run on PC, so unfortunately if you're a console runner, you won't be able to run this category. And the reason for that is that when we have main menu storage, we need a mouse to select options. And so you can't run this category without a mouse. There we go, you can see the mouse. A couple other logistics in the options. You want to make sure you have VSync on. Normally when you play Hollow Knight, you never want to have VSync on because Hollow Knight runs terribly with VSync on. VSync caps the frame rate to 60 FPS, and Hollow Knight runs really poorly at low frames per second. But the reason we want to be at 60 FPS is that it makes frame perfect tricks more lenient. And so that's very good for our purposes to have VSync on. Alternatively, you could use an external program. You can ask for advice on that in the Hollow Knight Discord to cap your FPS to 60. Another thing that's nice about patch 1.5 actually is that the improvements that Team Cherry made behind the scenes mean that the game runs a lot better with VSync on than it did before. So that's a nice perk. So having VSync on isn't going to be absolutely devastating to our ability to play the game normally. The last option, like most categories in Hollow Knight, is that we're going to run in Chinese. It uses less characters and thus makes us go faster. So with that, I think we're good to start. So we're going to open up our file slots, and we're going to start in slot 3. And the reason we're going to start in slot 3 is common to runs that use main menu storage, because slot 3 is the slot that overlaps with the start game button in the main menu. And that's going to come important when we're trying to do main menu storage. We're actually not going to end the game in slot 3. We're going to use main menu storage to jump to slot 2, and then another instance of it to jump to slot 1, so we're going to end the game in slot 1. But for the beginning, we'll start in slot 3. And we'll start with a Godseeker file. As I said before, this starts us with a very broken loadout to begin the game. which normally isn't an option for speedruns because the Godseeker file confines you to godhome. But we're going to break out of that. What we're going to do is we're going to start the Godseeker file. We're going to go in, we're going to sit at the bench and quit back to the menu. After that, we'll use main menu storage to start the game from King's Pass. So let's begin. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to mash through text, and then we're going to use an early control glitch to start moving earlier than we normally would. We'll do that by charging a nail art and releasing it at a particular time. We charge a nail art and release it. See, I have hitboxes mod on right now. It'll be useful throughout the run. But as you saw, the nail art allowed us to move the character earlier than we would otherwise. In fact, we moved so fast that we left our image behind for a little bit. I like to use Cyclone Slash. It's fine to use Great Slash. I find Cyclone Slash a little bit nicer because you move to the side. The timing on that, it's hard to replicate because I can't use save states through the beginning of the game. The timing on that is that you want to release, the release is a precise timing, the beginning of charging the C-dash is not. Sorry, the nail art is not. So now we're going to release our C-dash and come over. Oh, you want to go above that and not bonk, of course. Sit at the bench and quit out as soon as the save in game symbol appears here. So we'll quit back to the main menu. And now we're going to execute main menu storage. So to do that, what we need to do is we need to overlap this menu and the quit game menu, which we can bring up by hitting escape. And the way we do this is that we're going to hit escape at a particular timing to bring up both menus at the same time. What we want to do is we want to hit escape just as the main menu loads back in to bring up both menus. So that press is frame perfect. So the whole step will be 3 presses from here, 1 press to go to the quit game menu, 1 to come back, and 1 to overlap the menus. Only the 3rd press is precise. First try, there we go. So what we've done is we've overlapped the 2 menus, and we can select options from either one. So we'll select Start Game, and now we can see why having a file in slot 3 is important. Right now, the file, or if it would have been a new file, would be in the way of Start Game, but by selecting Delete File, it opens it up for us. Now don't select Yes to delete file, because then you'll delete your file and you'll have to reset. From here, we're going to perform a sequence of inputs rather quickly. We're first going to hit Start Game, then we're going to hit file slot 3, slot 2, and then we're going to select to start either a normal game or a Steel Soul game. What that's going to do is that it's going to start loading back in our godhome file, and then interrupt that with beginning a new file in the normal game. By doing that, it'll load our character from godhome with the full loadout into King's Pass. And that is what allows us to break out of godhome and start the game effectively in New Game Plus. So I'll show you here. And you'll know you got it. This isn't completely precise, but you know you got it roughly when the start normal file appears before the screen fades to black. So now we're going to mash through text, or not text, but mash through the cutscene. One more cutscene, and now we'll charge a nail art and release it about here. I'm a little bit low, but that's all right. So now we have noclip. So as you see, we're floating. This is not debug. This is the game running as Team Cherry coded it. And we have no fall, no gravity, and no collision with walls. We can go right in. You see, we already got something that I was going to say in a second. We also got airwalk. I'll explain that in a second. But first, I just want to say, noclip movement is very hard. We're going to be spending all of the run up to the final bosses, or almost all of it, in noclip. And getting used to noclip movement takes a while, but you have a lot of tools available to you, especially in this category, because we start with all of our movement options unlocked. We can dash, we can use our wings, we can use nail arts or spells to stop our vertical motion. And so we can combine all those different movement options to allow us to move through the game, even though we can't stand on things, we can't wall jump off walls, but nevertheless we can move through the game. Now I also got the state of airwalk by moving into this wall. If you see, there's a green line roughly near the knight's feet. And whenever the knight's feet are near the ground, the game will be confused. It'll think that you're standing on the ground, and it will give you airwalk. Now, airwalk is actually not a major glitch, but it's not very useful without a way to stay in the air. And that's where something like noclip or a float glitch comes into play. Airwalk does a number of things. It means that we can dash as many times as we like, because when we dash, we're still on the ground. We can also jump as high as we want by pressing and holding the jump button. And in general, airwalk is a much safer position to be in than just floating noclip, because with airwalk, you can keep your dash. Otherwise, you would have only one dash to use. In any case, what I like to aim for is roughly here. So the knight's feet line up here, and you get airwalk. I guess I'm a little high. I'm going to use debug noclip to move myself to where I want to be, roughly here. See how it's lined up. Charge a c-dash facing to the right, and we're going to c-dash out of the King Pass door and into Dirtmouth. We could also use some of these other horizontal lines to the right of where the knight is currently standing. This one is just the closest to the left to hit, so it's the fastest. Now, before I release the c-dash, I'm going to tell you that I'm going to equip a number of charms through the c-dash. The reason we can equip charms is because we also, not only do we have noclip, but we also have bench storage, which means that the game thinks we're still sitting at the bench in Godhome. That means a number of things. It means that we can open our inventory at any point, because if you're sitting at a bench, you can open your inventory. And it also means that we can equip and de-equip charms wherever we are, which is very nice. It's maybe something you hoped for in your casual playthrough, and now we get to do it. One danger of bench storage is that when you close your inventory after having bench storage, you don't get control back. Normally the game takes away your control when you open inventory and gives you back control when you close inventory. But if you're sitting at the bench, the game won't give you back control until you come down, sit off the bench. And so opening the inventory with no way to give yourself back control while you have bench storage will soft lock you. Now here, it's fine for a number of reasons. One is that stopping a c-dash gives you back control, and so will not soft lock you. But we're also pointing right towards the transition into King's Pass. And that will also give us back control. Okay, so the charms I'm going to equip, and let me note that it's important that you equip charms with the enter key, the return key on the keyboard, not, say, the jump button, is because if you press the jump button, it'll equip the charm, but it'll also stop the c-dash, and you don't want to do that. Now, the charms I'm going to equip in this order. The order doesn't, if you find an order you like better, this is the order I use. I'm going to equip Sharp Shadow, Nailmaster's Glory, and then Dream Wielder. And if I have time before the transition, I'll also equip Quick Slash. And then after the transition in Dirtmouth, I'm going to equip Dash Master, Sprint Master, and Grub Song. Grub Song is optional, but I like it to give you a little bit more soul. And then also equip Quick Slash if I missed it before the transition. So I'll show you how this looks. So we're going to release the c-dash and then start equipping charms. I'm going to close the inventory and cancel my cdash when the knight is a bit to the left of this curved object in the background. Now, one thing you saw there, if you were paying close attention, was that I actually opened the inventory as soon as I hit the load. So with bench storage, you can open inventory in the middle of a load. And so that lets me start equipping charms a little bit faster. Okay, now from here, what we want to do, here I'll zoom out to show you what's going on. This is why debug mod is nice. So there's the knight floating up up top. And you can see at the bottom of the screen a small purplish rectangle. That is the load zone to the well. And so our goal here is to hit that load zone and go into the well. How are we going to do that? Well, we just equipped Dash Master, so we're going to down dash and hold right. And the position we stopped our C dash means that we should, if I've done it correctly, just hit the load zone and go into the well. If you miss it a little bit, and this is an important thing to use throughout the run, is that you can use wings to go back up and hit the load zone from the bottom if you miss it. And I'll get a chance to show you that in a little bit, assuming I didn't make a mistake here. So we're gonna down dash, hold right, and hit the load zone. Just like that. We'll come in. Oh, that was way too high. We'll dash left. Come on. Well, that's all right. We'll dash left, and you want to dash so that the bottom of the knight hits this green line and you get airwalk again. With airwalk, you'll dash over. That guy won't be in your way. I still have debug noclip, but same thing. And hit this load zone. Now I'll make a save state here. In this room, what we're going to do is we're going to collect essence from the dream tree up above. Now, we need essence because we're going to dream gate 3 times in the run. We actually have 1 essence already, and that essence is from starting a godhome file. For whatever reason, starting a godhome file gives you an essence. And then we're going to need at least 2 more essence for the 2 additional dream gates we're going to need to use in the run. Now, the movement I like to use is as soon as I come in, I'm going to jump and hold left, and I'll hold the jump button for about 4.5 seconds, which will put me at about the right height. So here we go. A little low. I want it to come about here. Now we dash left, and we'll dream nail the tree. Now you'll notice we still have airwalk. And the reason we have airwalk is that when you're in noclip and you jump off a surface, you keep airwalk. Now we're going to lose airwalk when we dream nail this tree, which will allow us to down dash. As we fall down, we're going to want to collect at least, as I said, 2 essence and then hit the transition into the room below. So hopefully, if all goes right, that's what we'll do. It's possible, as you fall through this room, that you'll hit a gruzzer or a tick-tick at some point. And if you do, it'll be a bit of a time loss, but what you want to do is you want to find somewhere to either get airwalk on a platform or a dashslash, a pogo, on an enemy or a background object. What this will do is refresh your dash and allow you to down dash again to hit the transition. So let's see how it goes. You don't have to delay that down dash at all. See, that's what I'm talking about. So I'm going to hit the enemy and down dash again. Hit the enemy again, down dash again, and hit the transition. Here I hold, sorry, I down dash and hold left. I didn't do it there. And wings to come here. Let's do that again. Oop, came a little too low. Down dash. Get the essence. Hit the transition. Down dash. Wings. And come here. I'll show it one more time. Don't know what that was. Never seen that. Too high. And I'll show you this time, I missed the transition, but then I wings up into it. and we're here. So from here, we're going to do some simple movement. Here, let me just set a save state. We'll hit this transition to this room, dash over, shade cloak through, dream nail, shade cloak, and then come up here. Again, you don't have to delay at all. The timing will be just so that you'll miss. If you mess up the timing a little bit, you can pause and then have your shade cloak go through. So now we'll come here. You need to walk a little bit left and descending dark. Hit the transition and come all the way down, and you'll hit the acid. Now, normally descending dark with noclip is a very bad idea, because if there's nothing to stop you, you'll just fall straight down as forever. You might be familiar with, say, Cthulhu's run of 112 all glitches, where he would sometimes fall out of bounds and then hit a hazard respawn that exists on current patch. But that's no good. Well, I guess it would work with this version of noclip, but with a version of noclip later, that's no good because you won't hit a hazard. I guess that's fine with this version. In any case, hitting the acid will stop your descending dark, jump out, dash, and come over here. Now, if you get airwalk on this platform, you can start a c-dash going in. Actually, in fact, let's show. There's a number of different motions through this room. They're all roughly the same, but I have some I prefer and some I don't. So one option is if you get airwalk here, charge a c-dash, and go in. Just hit them, face tank it all, get hit there. Now we're here. I didn't mean to get airwalk. We're here. We got hit by the explosion, or maybe we're over here. In any case, dash down, wings, hit the load. Show you that again. C-dash through. So that can happen. That's one of the reasons I don't like this method. And let me just show you while I have a chance. So that's the load. That's what it looks like. You can hit it from either side. All you need to do is make your hitbox touch the load. Come through. Now, this isn't my favorite motion. Another thing you can do, which I like quite a lot, is you can jump up with airwalk, charge a c-dash, and c-dash through the top, down dash wings, hit the load. Now I like this a lot more because it's more consistent with regards to the jellies. Now that's something that can happen. If it does, just come through, you'll get airwalk. Same deal. A slightly easier strat I used to use before I found that c-dash, which you might like, is you can just jump up and airwalk over. One thing I'm doing, you've seen me do, here I'll reset to show you, is, let me come back. We're here and we want to go down, but we can't down dash because we have airwalk, we're standing on the ground. So what I do is I use some ability that cancels the airwalk. That could be a spell, it could be a dream nail, it could be a nail art, but the quickest is to just tap c-dash, which will remove the airwalk. Same deal, we come here. Now I'm going to set a save state here. We're going to come into this room, and as we come in, we're going to charge a nail art. Dash across nail art to cancel the airwalk. And now what we want to do is dash down and spell at the right height to get airwalk on the ground. Now, I find this trick very difficult. If you miss it, it's fine. It's just a small time loss. No more, 5 seconds at most. But getting the airwalk is optimal. So now we down dash and fireball to land here. Once we've done that, we place the dream gate and enter. Now I'll show you what you do if you miss it. Oops, missed it. Now you come over to the left, break the gate. You don't have to break the gate. I guess I didn't. Come here, place a dream gate, and cdash back. In either case, you enter archives, and you have a dream gate placed. So now you come in, cdash over, cancel the cdash. I like to cancel the cdash around the last of the pillars, which will make you come here without airwalk, and down dash into the load. Now I'll go through this room, and then I'll explain what I'm doing. The main thing is that we're skipping umu with noclip. So let me go back, and I'll explain what I'm doing again. Oh, here. Let's set the save state here. So as we're falling down, we want to do a couple things. The first thing we want to do is not get hit. Getting hit in this room is very bad, and I'll explain why it's bad in a second. But as you're falling, you want to get 3 hits of souls on little jellies as you fall down. Those 3 hits of souls will be enough for a spell that we're going to use later. It's not required. You can gather soul in a different room, but this is, I think, optimal. The other thing you want to do is you want to miss the trigger to start the umu fight. And to do that, we'll do a specific sequence of motions. So I'll show you what it looks like. We come in. 1, missed it. There. Now we fall down. We want to go right under that acid, come around here, and dash in. Ideally, you dash in and get airwalk on this platform. Let's see if you can actually see. Yeah, so the big purple rectangle up above is the trigger for the umu fight. Or is it? No, it can't be. I guess it's the... Well, I'm not sure exactly where it is. But if you don't come too far enough right as you're coming down, you'll miss... you'll hit that trigger and start the umu fight. And I'll show you what that looks like. So let's say oops, I didn't go far enough. I hit the water. Maybe I think, oh, I'm okay. I can come down. But now the umu fight has started, and even though we're down here, umu will oblige. Of course, umu will refuse to give the right attack at any point, even during a tutorial. Umu can still hit us down here. And that's really bad, because that can knock us out of the Quirl animation, and if it knocks us out of Quirl, it's actually a soft lock. So I basically always reset if I start the umu fight. Now, one thing that will force you to start the umu fight is if you come down and get hit. Now, because we got hit, we no longer have that slow downwards fall, and what we might think we could do is down dash, but now we don't have enough time to get around to the right. And so getting hit is very bad there. The way I don't get hit, I'll grab myself with debug noclip, is you want to fall through this pillar. And you want to come between these 2 jellies. So that's the spacing I like. So with all that being said, let's do it one more time. Come down, go right. And get airwalk. If you don't get airwalk here, what you can do is you can down dash, wings, try to get airwalk. If you miss, pogo, down dash, wings, try to get airwalk. Now, once you have airwalk here, you need airwalk to be able to interact with things. So now we can interact here, mash through text, and dream nail. And we'll enter the dream sequence. Now we're in the dream sequence. We're going to dash over, up slash with quick slash, and we can absorb from here. I messed up by stopping the absorb because I wanted to tell you something. I'll just go to my save state. So what we're going to do is we're going to cancel the animation of the mask breaking by down dashing with noclip. And what's going to happen is that when we down dash, I guess there's not a, is there a, I think it's the orange box. We'll hit a respawn trigger to exit out of the dream, and that's going to cancel us out of the animation. And the way we're going to do that is by, well, I guess I'll show you as it goes. So we come over, slash, charge, or focus. Now that flash, after that flash, we want to pause, unpause, and continue holding focus until the mask appears, and then we can down dash. And what that'll do is cancel us out of the animation. But we still picked up Monomon, so that lets us skip the slow time of waiting for the mask cutscene to play. Do it one more time. Focus. Pause, unpause, continue holding focus, release focus and down dash once the mask has appeared. So now we're back. So we're here, and we Dreamgate out. Now this will depend on whether you got the airwalk before. I guess in the one that the save state corresponds to, I did not. You'll either appear here or you'll appear in the room to the right and have to break the wall and get through here. Get out of the way. Now what we do, come over, dash, dash, and dash in. So let me set a save state. So we're going to go into the QGA room, and we're going to go in with a new state that we haven't talked about yet, called transition storage. So transition storage is very similar to bench. It's a form of bench storage in this patch, and you get it by opening the inventory with bench storage as you go into a transition. You can then close the inventory, and you'll still have transition storage even though the inventory isn't up. So I'll show you how it looks. So now we have transition storage. We have the menu like bench storage. The inventory like bench storage, but we can walk around. We can't swing our nail. We can't wings. But we fall faster. In fact, we also can't wall cling. We fall even faster than inventory dropping, I believe, or at least we fall as fast as inventory dropping. So we're going to come in with transition storage. I'm going to do it by canceling. Here, let me turn off so you can see more clearly what's going on. As you see, I can't nail. I still have transition storage even though I closed the inventory. Okay, so now what we're going to actually do, still have a save state, come in with transition storage, dash, and land in the water. And because we have transition storage, when we now fireball, we'll fall in the water, in the acid, and land on the ground. What you actually want to do is fireball down dash, just because it's faster. And the reason we're going into the water is because we want to get noclip back. We lost noclip by coming out of the Dreamer. The Dreamer cutscene removed our noclip. We're going to get another form of noclip now called Dreamgate noclip. So to get Dreamgate noclip, what we need to do is set a Dreamgate underwater, Dreamgate to that Dreamgate, and then jump out as we're loading back in. So here we go. Set the Dreamgate, Dreamgate, and I'm going to jump twice. Once to hit the acid and then once to come up. And you see, we want to come up here. We have noclip, and we also get airwalk from all these horizontal edges over here. But because this is Dreamgate noclip as opposed to main menu storage noclip, we also have what's called Dreamgate invulnerability. So not only can we walk through walls, but we're also invincible. We can walk through hazards as well, and enemies. Nothing can hit us whatsoever. What we're going to do is we came up here. We got airwalk. We might need to jump if we need. Charge a cdash and c dash across. Show that one more time. I forgot that noclip persists through save states, so I have to quit out. The debug mod isn't perfectly suited to glitched runs. This actually gives me a chance to show you something. We started in this file, in godhome, but this is the file we've been playing in. You see, this says 0 minutes played, this says 25 minutes played. So we go into this file, because this is the file that we've been playing in. So we load in. What happens if is that gonna mess up? Good, save state still works. So we're here, go in, fireball, down dash, place a dream gate, and as we're coming back in, jump again, come up here, get airwalk, c dash, and release. And this c dash is fantastic. We go through that room, we go through this room, don't hit enemies, don't care, we have invulnerability, hit another transition, come through here, cancel it, wings up, and dash into this transition. So that all is one big c dash. So all charm notches can get out of here. That's one of my favorite c dashes in the game. Now in this room's very simple. We're just going to jump up, lose airwalk by tapping c dash, and then down dash and hit a transition. Now the next room is more finicky, and I'll show you what I do. So I'll down dash and hit this transition, and I just hold left, and then dash when the camera flicks back. So I'll show you that again. Just down dash, hit this transition, hold left, and I just dash. I missed it, I think because I'm talking. What you're going to see is that the camera is going to flick back towards the arena, and that's the visual cue I use to hit my dash. Like that. Now, this is maybe not the most friendly movement, so if you would like slightly friendlier motion, you can do this. This room is the same. Then you come in, dash over, pogo there, and then down dash. Sorry, I guess I have airwalk. Jump up, cancel the airwalk, down dash, and hit the transition the same. Do this one more time, and I'll actually do it zoomed out with hitboxes on so you can see what it looks like. We're coming down, and then we're dashing over to hit that load zone like that. I guess I have to do it to progress. I missed it. I am just going to use debug to move myself into. Now this room, what you're going to want to do is you come in, down dash, wings up, and hit the transition. These rooms are fairly simple. Jump, cancel airwalk, down dash, hold left. And I like to line myself up with that wall. Come down dash, go right. Line myself up here, and fall through. Now I'll show you with by grabbing myself with debug noclip what the visual cues I use are. So I use this wall to line myself up with the load here. And I use this wall to line myself up for where the load is going to be below. I come in, charge a nail art, and then, oh, that's actually not where I want to. So there's a couple things you can do in this room. What I want to do optimally is release the nail art here so I can walk over here, charge a C dash, and C dash across and hit the load and continue onwards. This one's a little bit tricky to hit. You want to release your nail art while your like horns are just sticking out. You can also go for an airwalk on this platform. You can also dash as you come in, try to get an airwalk here and dash over, then cancel the airwalk, come down, wings up, and go through. All of these options are fine. Of course, another option that's perfectly fine is to just come in and just float and just do what you can to get across. In any case, what you want to do is you want to hit this load. Now, the reason, as I said before, I like to hit this airwalk is because it allows me to c-dash directly into this room without stopping. Otherwise, I would need to c-dash from here, which is a little bit slower. Come across, cancel the c-dash, wings up, and hit the load. Now, this room is rather straightforward. What we're going to do is we're going to dash twice, hold jump, and then all we need to do is be in airwalk and touching that purple rectangle, which is the load zone, and we can walk into the door. I'll show that again. Dash, dash, jump, and then we go in. Straightforward. Now we're in Beast Den, and we need to get up to Hera to Dreamnail. And so the strat I use is that I'm going to jump and hold jump and right, and I'm going to count the knight's footsteps until we get to 17. And at 17, I'm going to release jump and right. I'm going to press left and Dreamnail. So it looks like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I must have lost count because I was talking over it. Let's try it again. Count in my head this time. Here, 17, press left, and Dreamnail. So now we're going to do the same thing we did for Monomon. Dash over, absorb, I got a notification on my desktop which canceled me out of the game, so that's annoying. Reload save state, I guess. Get to show you this one more time. Again, dash over, absorb. After the flash, pause and unpause, hold, focus until the mask appears, and down dash. Now you'd think, this is what you'll see, now you'd think you'd appear back on Hera's plinth, but you won't. And the reason we're getting a white screen is because we've performed Dreamgate noclip. Anytime you perform Dreamgate noclip, the next time you would exit a dream or come out of a Dreamnail, you'll get a white screen. But it's fine. We just quit out. Oops, sorry. We simply quit out and load back in. Now we're going to just make our way out of Beast Den, C-dash left, dash down. You can cyclone drop or just down dash. This movement is just NFG, bench, and then quit out again as soon as we see the save game icon. So now we've benched again, and the reason we've benched again is that we're going to perform another instance of main menu storage noclip from this bench instead of from the godhome bench. Now you could ask, why are we doing it from this bench? Why couldn't we just do it on the quit out before at Hera? Now the issue is that if you try to do Dreamgate noclip from a dreamer, from the hard save at a dreamer, you'll just get a shaking screen throughout the intro cutscene. It messes it up. So instead we move to this bench and we do main menu storage from here. So it's going to be the same as before. We have to get main menu storage by pressing escape as the menu loads in. Guess that's what I get for getting the first one first try. I think before I had moved the mouse. Here, what I do in runs is just as soon as I get this, I hit enter to hit start game. Again, we click delete file on slot 3. And now we're going to do the same thing as before, which is start file, and then we hit the file we want to main menu storage from, and then the file we want to go to. So in this case, I'm going to hit start game, file 2, and then file 1, and then start normal type of game. So it's going to be the same thing as before, but instead of pressing slot 3 and then slot 2, I'm going to press slot 2 and then slot 1. Just like that. And so what this does is, again, it loads our character, as before, into the new file, into King's Pass, with all of the things they've gathered. So we have full equipment from Godhome, but now we also have Monomon and Hera. And so that's how this file that we're starting now in file 1 is going to come in with full equipment and Monomon and Hera. Charge a Dreamnail, come in. I missed that one, so I'll just come over here where I can charge a cdash and cdash in. I'm actually going to, you should just continue it. I'm going to do this so I can set a save state. Same deal though, cdash in. Cancel it about here, dash down, hit the thing. Charge a nail art and try to get airwalk here. If you don't get airwalk, it's pretty annoying. What you're going to do if you don't get airwalk is come across very slowly and place a dream gate right here. Let's see if I can get it this time. There we go. So we got our airwalk, and in this case, we just place our dream gate here. And if I was a little higher, I'd cdash over, but here we can just airwalk through the load. Now, this room is much easier than before. We don't have to go get essence. Jump, cancel, down dash, and just go straight down, and I like to come left here. I missed it, so I'll wings up, come down, and dash. Try to get airwalk, it's not essential, and then we're going to go right. So I'll show you that again. Come down, go left about here. I hit an enemy, so I can refresh my dash, hit the transition, try to get airwalk. And now if we got airwalk and we can cdash, so airwalk doesn't necessarily mean you can cdash here. It might be that if you're a little bit lower than this, you'll start your your cdash and then stop. For that, you'll just hold right or dash right into the load. If you miss the airwalk, just go right into the load. If you've done it well, you can cdash. I should probably, here, set a save state here. This is going to be another fantastic noclip cdash. Remember, we have main menu storage noclip, so we can go through walls, but enemies will still hit us. So we'll cdash in, go through this barrier, come into the false night room, go through the thing, and cancel the cdash into that load. Do that one more time. Oh, I did not mean to cancel it, sorry. Cancel it here. So the next room, the movement I like is this. So I come in, dash once, dream nail, dash, and try to hit the right side, so I missed it. In either case, you get airwalk, and you come through. come in, dash once, dream nail. Missed it. It's fine if you miss it, you just keep going right through the room, but I just want to show you what it looks like properly. Dash right, hit the right side of that, and it damage boosts you to the right, so you can airwalk faster. Come through here, jump up. I like to jump up a little high here, actually. Cancel your airwalk, dash down and hold right. Hit this load, down dash. So other players, other runners of this category seem to have found a better way than I know of dealing for this room. I always hit that guy like that. So what I do, if you miss, again, of course, you can wings, is I hold left, down dash. See, this is one room I still don't quite know what to do with. As we can clearly see. In any case, come here, wings, and go through. You can also hit that enemy on the way down, which I think is what I do in my PB. So I come here, go like this, come left, hit them for soul, and then dash through. So here it's very straightforward. You just c-dash, wings, dash in. So here we just dash into the elevator because we have no clip, hit the elevator, and turn right. Then we're going to charge a c-dash and c-dash out through the gate. Let me just explain something that might be useful at this point. It might be useful earlier, but unlikely. One thing to keep in mind is that with bench storage, you can give yourself free heals. And the way it works is that with bench storage, you can open your inventory and either equip a charm or even just attempt to equip a charm. So like press A on a charm slot. And that'll give you a full heal. Of course, this has the issue that you've opened inventory with bench storage, so you're going to lose control. So you need to do this in a context where you'll get control back. One of those places that's very important is in the Radiance fight, or the Hollow Knight fight, if you get a lot of damage. But here's an opportunity to use it if you like. So you can hit the elevator, open inventory, and press A. Look, I'm trying to equip Wayward Compass. And now you see my health is full. And so this is a nice trick to keep in mind when you're learning this run. If you're taking more damage, you can always give yourself a full heal in a situation where you're safe from soft locking with bench storage. So another place might be during a c-dash that's going to hit a transition. So what you do, come in, hit the lever, face right. Heal if you like. Charge a c-dash, c-dash right out. Cancel the c-dash. So can I set a save state here? Yeah, let's set a save state here. So now the next room, for most of the time I've run this category, I absolutely hated this room, but I'm very happy to have found a consistent strat that I like for this room. So I'll show you it now. So you come down, dash into the transition, down dash, and then hold right immediately, and then wings up, hit that, and you'll respawn here. Now, let me give myself here. Just pull myself down and show you the hitboxes. So this big purple hitbox in the bottom is the zone that if you hit it, you set your respawn trigger to respawn you like right here. And so if you hit the spikes without coming down first, you'll respawn up above on this platform. What you need to do is come down, hit this, and then hit the spikes, and you'll respawn here. Now, the other option is to not hit the spikes and try to get an airwalk on this ground. But trying to get that airwalk, I've found very difficult and very inconsistent. So I prefer this strat of hitting the respawn trigger and then hitting the spikes. So I'll show you what that looks like again. Actually, let's do it with hitboxes on. Down dash and hit right away. Hit that and respawn. If you don't hold right quickly enough, you'll hit the spikes before you come down, and you'll respawn in the wrong place. One more time. You respawn, press right, and C dash. Now this is an NMG long C dash. You just come through. Oops. Cancel it in that load. I'll set a save state. You come in, cancel your airwalk, and dash into this transition. In this room, the way I do it is I hold right, stop holding right for a second to avoid the spikes, and then dash through to this transition. Come down, hold right, stop holding right, hold right, and dash, and hit the transition. Now, another method that you can use for this room is after you come in, hold right, dash, you'll get airwalk up above, jump up, cancel your airwalk, down dash, and hit the transition like this. That method's fine. I think it's slightly slower, surprisingly, than just holding right, but it's another option if you want it. So I'll just show you one more time. Come down, stop, continue, dash, hit the transition. Now here, we simply C dash across the bridge. Sorry, don't hit that load. Cancel it around here. Jump up, cancel, dash down, jump up into this load. Show you it proper. Now, this next part is a part that we've tried many different methods. Staxis has a method. Nobody has a method. I believe this is Staxis's method. In any case, another method is a incredibly cursed main menu storage. Don't do that one. Do this one. The main problem we face here in routing this category is that it's impossible to go through an upwards transition with noclip. Actually, why don't I show you with a save state? So if I come up, oh, that's not here. Let me show you what happens if you try to go through an upwards transition. So you see this is an upwards transition. What happens? Oh, maybe this is a bad idea. Actually, sorry, I'm not going to show you. What happens is that when you go through an upwards transition, you don't have control of the character until you land on the ground. You usually pop up out of a transition and then fall and hit the ground. But because you have noclip, you'll just go up without anything to stop you. If you had float, you could hit a wall to re-give you control. But because you have noclip, you'll fly upwards and never hit anything. And as a result, you'll be hard locked. And the only thing that gets you out of that state, you can't even pause. The only thing that gets out of that state is Alt F4, is closing the game out. So you can't go upwards through this transition with noclip. So we have to lose noclip. And one way you can lose noclip is by sitting at a bench and getting off the bench. However, and so that's what we're going to do at this bench. The issue is that we also want to keep bench storage, or come out of this with bench storage. And the reason we want bench storage is a couple things. First of all, the charm loadout we have right now is a loadout that's designed for platforming. We have Sprint Master and Sharp Shadow and all these movement charms. For the final bosses, we want damage charms. And so we want to be able to change our charms without any time loss. And we can only do that if we have bench storage. The other big reason is that bench storage, as we'll see in a little bit, lets us get past the cutscene at the Black Egg Temple door. And that's about a 10-second time loss that you just have to eat if you don't get bench storage back. So I'll show you how the method I like to get bench storage. I think it's probably the most simple and consistent method at this point. But this is also something that we're definitely working on. So what do? We dash into this room with transition storage. And we come in here. You can see the knight there walking on the ground. You come in and you sit on this bench. And because we have transition storage, we can just come off the bench. We're still benched, but we're in the air. We have what's called bench float. And we have bench float and noclip, so we come out here, cancel the inventory, and get off the bench. And we want to land on this platform. Let me show you what this looks like. If you miss this platform, if you see the hitbox and the art are very different. You can do. See, I fell. You need to do some sort of trans dash and wings. Best to just land here. Now what we're going to do, now that we're out here, is we're going to inventory drop out of bounds. And what that's going to do is, because we're inventory dropping, we're going to inventory drop into a hazard at the very bottom of out of bounds, and that's going to respawn us right here. But it's going to respawn us with our inventory open. So then we can sit on the bench and bench float out the door, which will give us bench storage. You'll notice that's debug noclip. We now have yes clip. And we can, because we got off the bench, we now have yes clip. And we can no longer just clip through walls unless we use debug. So we land here, and we want to use a current patch, so a frame perfect inventory drop off the ledge. So we want to step off the ledge and open inventory at the same time, like that. We hazard respawn, dash over, hit the bench, and then just hold right, and we come out. And we have bench storage. We can equip, unequip charms, and we are soft locked if we close the inventory. So I'll show you this more quickly now. Get transition storage. We don't have noclip. Pretend I have noclip. Come off here. Use debug noclip. Close inventory. Get off the bench. Land here. Inventory drop. Respawn. Sit on the bench, and just hold right to float through the wall. Now, if you've gotten the hits that I've been suggesting previously, you'll have soul here. If not, come down and hit those guys for soul. So what we're going to do is the one and only out of bounds in this run. And the way we're going to do that, let me turn on hitboxes and zoom out a little bit. The way we're going to do that is we're going to hit the transition and then open our inventory later than transition storage. So to get transition storage, we want to open our inventory right as we hit the load. Here we want to hit inventory a little bit before we load back in. So this is what's called a bench out of bounds. What it does, if you watch, when we load in, you saw that the character is in the load for a little bit before the room loads. Now, what opening the inventory does is it gives the character control and makes them fall out of the load zone. And so what will happen, oh, a little late. It's hard to do it. My timing is all messed up here. Is we'll fall down here. And we can wall jump on this wall. We have a form of transition storage. So we'll fall fast. So now let me show you what we do without all this junk. We come through, bench out of bounds, fireball, wall jump. I missed it. Sorry, keep missing it. Let me tell you what you do before I try it. What you want to do is bench out of bounds, fireball to give yourself control so you don't fast fall, wall jump off the wall. Here, I'll show you like this. Sorry. You want to wall jump off this wall here, wings up, dash into this wall, and then wall jump into that load, which will put you here. And so this is how we're going to skip the lever that in 1.2.2.1 you could lever skip. In current patch, we'd have to come fight this guy. We don't want to do that. So let me now stop talking and try to show it to you. So that was what we did. and we come up here. So that's the movement. It's a little bit tricky to get it, but the idea is you just want to press inventory before the room loads, fireball, wall jump, wings, and try to go up and around to the right, around the load zone, and then wall jump up to the second load zone. So now we come in here. We're going to need some soul. Here, let me reload the room. We're going to need at least, I like to come in with at least 2 spells worth of soul out of this room. I wasted a little bit of soul before because I missed the bench out of bounds a couple times. So we're going to gather some soul. We can use our grub song, or we can use our nail. Come up here. Do I have... No. Whoops. Let's do that again. In any case, hit these guys, gather soul, come up here, hit this guy for soul, hit the elevator, C- here, and then we're going to come up into this room. And so we want to come into this room with at least 2 soul. So now we're going to skip Watcher Knights. And we're going to skip Watcher Knights with a glitch called elevator storage. So now if you look at this elevator, you'll notice right here that there's a little lip you can stand on. And what we're going to try to do is stand on that lip and then hit the spikes. And what that's going to do is give us elevator storage, where the game thinks that we're on the elevator even though we're not. Now, if we touch the elevator floor, say by walking, we're going to respawn here, hazard respawn. If we walk across and hit the elevator, we'll lose elevator storage. So we're going to want to dash across and then come up this wall with elevator storage. So let me show you what that looks like. So the way we do this is we wall jump off this wall and press right a little bit. I like to press right a little bit once. Some people will tap right twice. I find it easier to just press it right once. We want to land here on this littlest lip. Oh, sorry, it's not the lip below. It's that one. Yeah, the lip is even smaller. But we want to land here and hit this. So we've respawned, and you'll notice that the knight is like a little... Maybe it's hard to see, but the knight, we currently have elevator storage, which means, I'll show you what it does. If I hit the elevator, it'll pull us up because we're trying to go up with the elevator. Now if I send the elevator down, it'll even pull us through the floor. So we have our elevator storage, and then we want to, again, dash across to not lose elevator storage, wall jump up here, dash here, and now what we're going to do is we're going to use that elevator storage to clip up past Watcher Knights. So we hit the elevator, wall jump, spell, wall jump, spell again. I didn't do it too quickly quickly enough because I'm speaking. So let me now do it without speaking. The idea is that we're going to wall jump and use 2 spells so that the lag from the spells pulls us through the wall. To get elevator storage. And we come up through the floor. And we've skipped Watcher Knights. Show it one more time. This ledge is very finicky. There we go. Don't hit the elevator. Normally that ceiling will be there. I had some save state issues, so that's where the ceiling went. And we're up here, so we've skipped the Watcher Knights. So now we're gonna ride the elevator up, and we'd like to skip the mask breaking cutscene in Lurien, just like we did for Monomon and Hera. But we don't have noclip, so we can't just down dash into the dream, into the whatever takes you out of the dream. So instead we're gonna get pause storage. And pause storage is a very miserable trick. It's frame perfect like main menu storage. we used to have to do it on every dreamer, and now it's only on this one, and we can do it during this elevator. So I'll show you what we do. The basic idea, I'll explain it here, is that we bring up with escape our pause menu. We press the option to quit to main menu, and then as this loads in, we'll hit escape to go back to the other menu, and we'll store this menu. So the timing is right in between the loading of this line of text and the loading of this line of text, closer to when this line of text loads. So hopefully I can get it in not too many tries, but we'll see what it looks like. And I'm not going to be able to show this to you more than once, unfortunately, because it messes with how save states work. So let's go into the game. We hit the elevator, and we start trying to get pause storage. It's better to be too early than too late because you get more tries. If you're too early, you just go back like that. That's too early. Too late, you close out of the menu entirely. That's pause storage. So you see, we have it doesn't normally allow you to select files like that. That might be a debug mod. I think that's a debug mod meme. Yeah. So what you're going to do, you're going to come in, you're going to have pause storage, and you'll absorb. And then after the flash, you pause again. You can release heal. It's totally fine. You put your mouse over this option, which is the quit to menu, like yes, quit to menu. And what this does is that now when we unpause, we're still going to be focusing and absorbing the dreamer, but this selection of this option is going to be stored so that when we press the A button, we'll quit to menu. And so the timing is the same as before. We're going to unpause and then press A as soon as the dreamer mask appears. So I'll show it to you like this. And we quit to menu. And again, that skips the mask. It's completely optional. I would recommend, we go back in, of course. I would recommend not doing it if you're starting out. It's a small time save, but it is a time save. So now we come back in, we have bench storage, and we're going to the final fights. So we dream gate out. And we go back to our dream gate that we placed before in Crossroads, right by the final boss. Come over, c-dash over, set a save state here, and now you'll see why we want bench storage so badly, because it lets it skip past the cutscene at the Blackhead Temple door. So we're going to come in, get transition storage, and we can just walk right in, not waiting for anything. I'll show it to you one more time. Transition storage, walk in. Very easy. Now, at this point, we're coming to the final bosses, and to be completely honest with you, I'm not the right person to tell you how to fight the Radiance and the Hollow Knight with max equipment. For optimally, I would recommend go watch someone like Monsteller or someone who runs 1xx categories. I'll give you one demonstration of the fight, and I'll point out the relevant aspects of it for true ending all glitches, but I'm definitely not an expert on either of these fights. The main things to keep in mind is that you have bench storage. And bench storage lets you do, of course, two things. One is switching charms, and we're going to switch charms on the c-in, because right now we still have our movement charms equipped, and we want our combat charms. So what I like to do is I like to de-equip some of the movement charms on the c-in here, leaving Dashmaster, at least Dashmaster, Sprintmaster, and Quickslash for breaking the chains. And then we're going to do it again during the Hollow Knight's beginning scream, because the scream also takes away our control and then gives us our control back when the scream ends. And we need to get that control back if we're going to be opening our inventory with bench storage. So this charm menuing during the c-dash, you need to menu with enter and not the A button. In the Hollow Knight Scream, you can use the A button. So the loadout I like for these fights is quick slash, strength, shaman stone, and spell twister. You can mix it up as you see fit. It's likely that Fury Radiance is optimal. Radiance is a very cycle-based fight, and for certain cycles that she'll give you, having Fury lets you do it in a cycle faster. I don't go for Fury Radiance because I'm scared, and I don't want to lose a good run to something dumb like dying to getting one hit in the Radiance fight. But at some point, Fury Radiance is probably going to be necessary for world record. I would definitely not recommend it if you're starting out at this category. Here's another point where 1.5 is different from 1.4.3.2. On 1.4, Hollow Knight has a disjointed hitbox that takes a ton of damage from effects like Spore Shroom, or what we would use in that on that patch would be Dung Fluke. So you'd use Dung Defenders and Fluke Nest, Defender's Crest and Fluke Nest to deal massive amounts to Hollow Knight and kill him very quickly. But it turns out that Quick Slash, Nail 4, Strength is similarly strong and kills him without much time loss at all. So remember that most of the time, consistent quick slash nail damage is going to out damage any spells you could use. Spells are very important for damaging the bosses when they're further away from you. The main thing to focus on in the THK fight is to come out of it with full soul for the Radiance fight. So with that all being said, I'll give you a demonstration of the two fights, see if there's anything I can point out. But at this point, besides the switching charms in the C- and at the beginning of the THK fight, it's basically NMG. So I'm going to unequip, unequip, unequip. I can even put strength on if I like. And then we can menu some more. And this is the loadout I like. Here's a great chance to get yourself up to full soul. That's pretty bad RNG because that's slow and he's been dead for a while. You can scream skip if you need to get more soul. Dream Nail about here. And we're in the Radiance fight. Now, one thing that is different from NMG with the Radiance fight is that you have bench storage, and so you can use the healing trick by coming over and inventory dropping off the edge into spikes. So you would open inventory, press A, and then hit the spikes, and that will give you a full heal. If you hit inventory after hitting the spikes, you'll get a form of storage that will take away your nail and your jump. To get rid of that, just do the same thing again, but don't mess it up. And you'll come back with, again, a full heal minus the point of damage from the hazard, and you'll have your nail and your wings back. So let's do a Radiance fight. I like to open with 4 Shrieks. I don't know if it's optimal. It's probably better to get some nail hits in between. That probably should have been a bench storage heal. It's been playing kind of weird with debug. That's pretty good RNG. Radiance is also a quite RNG fight, unfortunately. And there you go. Hollow Knight true ending all glitches. One last thing, of course, you want to time your slashes so they're the fastest possible. I'm not very good at it. And there you have it. So thank you so much for watching. I really hope this has been helpful and maybe gets you excited about true ending all glitches and glitch categories in general. If you have any questions, feel free to comment or go in the Hollow Knight speedrunning Discord in the True Ending All Glitches the True Ending Glitched channel. People are always very happy to help out with anyone with any sorts of questions about speedrunning the game, and I think this is a fun category and a good category to get people into glitched runs. So with that being said, I hope to see you on the True Ending All Glitches leaderboard soon, and thank you so much for watching. I'll let the credits play out and see you next time.